Hi, this is Brett from Futrex, and today we're going to walk through setting up your new HealthGuard-865 blood pressure kiosk. The system comes with 5 parts out of the box. Once you've disassembled your freight package, you should have 5 major components. The first one is the kiosk cabinet. It has the TV mounted to it. It has a pipe for mounting the TV with a power cord and an HDMI cord coming out at the top. I have that on a cart right now to move it around a little easier. It's easier with 2 people to move the system around. I would suggest using 2 people to do this setup. I'm going to do it by myself, but imagine a second person in the scenarios where you're picking up the kiosk itself. Our second component is the external display that's going to go on top of that pipe. On the back of it, we have the remote. It's Velcro to the back. You can use that to store the remote whenever you'd like. It also has this mount on it that we're going to end up using. You have to feed the cord through the top of the mount, and then it has 2 set screws in it that you'll use to tighten it to the mount. Our third component is going to be the floor scale. In this, I already have the studs installed. I also have the cord taped out of the way, and that way when I put the kiosk cabinet onto the scale, I don't crush this connector right here. So these 2 studs will go inside the seat. You'll have to put the studs in. There's bolts on the top end right here that tighten it down. On the bottom end, it's a square head that goes into a recessed piece of metal in the bottom of the scale to keep it in place while you're tightening it. You'll lower the kiosk. These 2 will go inside the seat. There's keys for the door of the seat if you want to see it while you're lowering it down, and the third shorter stud goes in the front leg of the kiosk. Our fourth component is just the simple power cord. This is going to go from the back side of the kiosk into the wall to give you your AC power. And our final component is this in-between pipe that's going to not be shipped on the kiosk. You're going to have to install this yourself, and it will go onto this pipe here. You're going to make a power connection through it once you feed the cord from the TV through into this, and the HDMI connector here that's already fed through will attach to the female HDMI here. This end will attach to the TV. That's all the components. That's all the components for setting up the kiosk. We'll get started right now. I might cut this. We'll see how smoothly it goes. Let me move this table out of the way and I'll start setting it up. Okay, so the first thing you're going to do is set this scale on the ground once you have the 3 studs installed. Like I said earlier, and I have this taped out of the way. The barrel connector, that's going to be what hooks the scale to the kiosk. The connection's made inside the seat. I'll try and get it close to that for you. So once you're exactly sure where you want this kiosk to go, you'll set this on the ground. Let me figure out which way I want to orientate it for. Okay, we're going to put it so the back is facing you, so that you can see all the connectors on the TV mount. Next up, we're going to put the kiosk cabinet onto the scale itself. So this is definitely a 2-man lift. I'm going to get right beside it. I'm going to get on the inside of it here. There's a couple different ways to pick this up. So that's it. So the kiosk front stud goes through the front leg here. The 2 other studs are in the seat. My cord is out of the way. It hasn't been crushed. Let's see if we can see that on the camera. So now you can see that on the camera. I'm going to bring this camera over here with me so you can see me hook up the scale connector first. Okay, you won't have this foam taped to the seat. It's just so we don't cause damage during manufacturing. So take this cord. Now you're going to go under the seat. There's a big hole in the middle. You'll feed this through. And then there's a barrel connector right back here in the center, in the back center. And there's only one way it can go in. There's a notch in it. You'll plug it in. You'll tighten down the collar. And that's all you'll need to do. You'll also need to put bolts on the 3 studs. You have one here, one here. The 2 flange bolts go in the seat, and the acorn nut goes up here on the front. So your flange nuts go back here, and your acorn nut up here. That'll tighten the whole kiosk down to the scale. While you're down here, you might also want to level these feet just to make sure it's not shaking too much. This one's already level. Lock up the seat. Your keys for the seat should be taped to the front of the screen when you get the kiosk. And we're going to come back up now.